All right, let's go ahead and get to this schedule, ladies and gentlemen. Packers 2024. They're going to start off against the Eagles. Now, obviously, this is going to be a Peacock game. It's on Friday as well. I'm going to talk to you guys about, the streams and all that kind of stuff. We'll get into that later, but it's kind of crazy this season. It's going to be wild. But with that said, obviously, week one, it's going to be on Friday night on Peacock. Obviously, I'm going to have this, so we'll be streaming it here and having a good time like we always do. But yeah, I've been talking about the Eagles and how I'm not sure that Jalen Hurts is really, going to put up those same kind of stats and really have that same kind of game level that these Eagles have had. I think, the end of last season really showed us, is this team an elite team that's going to play up to par for a full season? I don't see that. Because when they start off strong, things end up going wrong towards the end of the season. It would be most likely in their best opportunity to have a season where, you take your bumps and bruises and then you finish strong. Because starting off so strong for them obviously did not work out last year. And yes, you could talk about Hurts getting sick and different people getting, injured and all that kind of stuff. Sure. But I think at the end of the day, Jalen Hurts at the end where it mattered the most really, really couldn't complete what he needed to. And that's go out there and finish the job. So yeah, I think in this one, it's going to be a great battle. I do think that the Eagles will have some good moments, but I think, with this defense, they're going to figure out Jalen Hurts. That tush push is not going to be able to save him all the time. And I think the chemistry behind the Green Bay Packers is going to be a lot stronger than the Eagles. So I'm going to take Green Bay on week one. Week two is going to be good as well because obviously you've got Anthony Richardson coming back and, this Colts team is going to be fired up and ready. This is another one where, I think it's going to be a true dogfight. I think, the defense is going to probably play the biggest part of this. But I could see, Anthony Richardson definitely trying to light things up in Green Bay. Sunday 1:00 game. I think, that may be more of a 50-50, but I will lean more towards Green Bay as well, just because it's Anthony Richardson coming back off of an injury. It's going to be hit or miss. Is he ready to go? Is he fired up? Is he focused? Is he not too worried about, the injury? Is it bothering him? All that kind of stuff. Coming into Green Bay against a strong team, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight. I will give the Colts the benefit of the doubt, but I think Green Bay is definitely going to take this one as well. Next after that, it's going to be Tennessee, right? They're going to Tennessee. Will Levis and company, I would say that Tennessee is a new team, right? We understand it's a new team. We understand that everything that, was going on with them losing Derrick Henry, defensive changes, everything's changed with the Titans right now. So yeah, you've got Will Levis coming in. He's going to have a full season himself. So I do think he's going to be developing things and trying to get something going with this team. I'm going to take Green Bay here in a strong defeat. I just don't think that Will Levis is ready for that defense, let alone the defense against Green Bay. Next after that's Minnesota, right? You got J.J. McCarthy, which everyone's saying, well, he may not start. It may start off with, Sam Darnold, and we'll have to go from there. I'm not trying to make the Vikings fans mad tonight, but listen, we know. We know y'all upset about Kirk leaving, and Sam Darnold is not that guy. He is not that guy. I'll tell you this, I would like to see J.J. McCarthy in this game. I think it'd be a very, very good battle with the Vikings defense against Jordan Love, and then obviously the Green Bay defense going up against J.J. McCarthy. I think this could be, a Hollywood level game if that actually happens that way. With that said, I think if Sam Darnold's playing, I'm going to give this to Green Bay. I just don't think Sam Darnold's going to have anything really good for the defense. You put JJ in there, I think things may shake up a little bit. I do think that, he may try to rise to the occasion, make a name for himself. This could be a very strong game. So that's my take on that one. Next after that, it's going to be week 5. That's against the Rams, right? So we know that Matt Stafford is not going to be, playing his best game. Like I've been saying before, he's at a level where I think, he still has his arm. He still has the grit, the fight, the determination to go out there and win. But at the same time, he's not going to be playing like himself. And, that comes with age. That comes with, getting knocked around. And that's just, one of the things that aging quarterbacks deal with. Now, that's not to say that he won't have some games where he completely balls out and everyone's just sitting here on the edge of our seat like, yo, Matt Stafford did it again, because he can do it. But I do think, the younger teams definitely, poses a significant challenge for older veteran quarterbacks because they're faster. These guys are moving a lot faster. And then, you don't get those gimme plays like you would normally get against, a team that's a little older, the other veterans, and they understand your play schemes and stuff like that. Things are going to change for the Rams. And yeah, I think this would be a good one as well. I think on the flip side, Jordan Love will be tested by the Rams defense. So we'll just have to see how this one goes. But I think I have to, go ahead and give it to Green Bay on this. I will. Next after that, it's going to be the Cardinals. Kyler Murray, we've been talking about this team. Obviously, we know that, they had an amazing pickup at wide receiver. But is that going to matter if Kyler Murray hasn't decided to drop the controller and pick up the playbook? So, and this is at week 6. Now, obviously, you guys know that we do our predictions week by week as the season starts as well. So things could change. We could have a better idea as far as Kyler Murray and, where this Arizona Cardinals team is, because there were some games last year that the Cardinals did win that was absolutely surprising, but it was because Dobbs was in. So there you go. That says everything we need to know. On paper, I would probably have to give this game to Green Bay just because I don't really trust Kyler Murray. I really don't. I don't think, he has it in him at this point to go out there and compete at the level that he needs to. Now, this next one, though, week 7, oof. Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers, Houston Texans, CJ Stroud, Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, Tank Dell. This Houston Texans team is going to be nice. I think this will be a good battle. I do think that, the Texans have a little bit stronger of an offense, and this could, be a high-scoring game for sure. But, I'm going to go with the Texans on that one. Now, they're going against the Jags as well in week 8. So they're going against the Jags week 8. And this is another one where it's 50-50 because Trevor Lawrence is so hit or miss. Is he having, is he going to be injured, right? That's a question. Is he going to lose his focus, right? Is he going to not really be able to get his game going in the middle of the season? And that's the thing that we see with, Trevor Lawrence over the years. He's been able to show up, and obviously changes with their offenses. It could prove some kind of a difference in, their chemistry and how he's affected by that. I do think that picking up Gabe Davis is going to be nice for him because he's got somebody that can actually catch the deep ball. So yeah, I mean, this could be a good game, but I do think that, the Jags will ultimately succumb to the Packers. Week 9, Detroit Lions. I got the Lions doing some good things next year. I get Green Bay and what they've been able to do, but I do think that the Lions are going to come back this year very, very stronger, much stronger, and take care of business. So I'm going to take the Lions in week 9. Week 10, they'll get into the bye, and then I'll go and hop into the chat with you guys before we get through the rest of the season. Where we at? Becky says, rookie quarterback struggle in this league. So, it's hit or miss because, truth be told, Becky, if you're playing at a certain level coming out of college, you still, even at an elite level, you still have to transfer over and play at NFL speed. You still have to transfer over and play against these DBs and these corners. And you have to understand that the speed of the game is going to be much different from how it was in college. So when these guys step out on that field in week 1, some of these guys look like they're going to be absolute trash, right? CJ Stroud was one of those individuals. And a lot of people were saying, oh, he's a bust and this, that, and the third. And I did say, hey, let's give it some time. Let's see what CJ Stroud does. And he cleaned it up and he got better. Now, on the flip side, you look at someone like Bryce Young. Now, I'm not saying that Bryce Young is trash, but what I am saying is Bryce Young has his issues because of the height. He has his issues because of, not being able to see over the line. He's got, arm strength issues. And when it matters the most, you're going to be able to pick certain details out of what's going on with him throughout the season, especially now having tape on him. So unfortunately, that's why I said for the Panthers, I don't see them having a good year at all unless something totally changes. It's going to be really, really bad for the Panthers. But yeah, it's finding a rookie who comes out in their first year and just absolutely tears it up is like finding a diamond in the rough. And, we definitely see that out of certain individuals, but those individuals have put in the work. They've taken the time to develop. They've got excellent mentors. They got people behind them. And 9 times out of 10, they're working on their craft so much that they can only go out there and be better than the other rookies in their class. And we see that. Shout out to Jay Thorns, says that is the best take I've seen on the Bears so far. I think the defense is underrated and the weapons on O are elite, but Caleb's a rookie that hasn't proven himself yet. Great take, bro. Shout out to you, Jay Thorns. Thanks a lot, man. Yeah. Like I said, as for the Bears, it looks promising. It always looks promising. Except this year it does look more promising than what it normally has. So, they got some good opportunity there. I think that, if you're a Bears fan, you can be have some optimism about it. But I would say make it cautious optimism going into next season so you don't get your heart broken. You should know how that go. Ernie, what up, yo? What's going on with you? Lisa says, I'm very confident the Ravens are Super Bowl 59 champs. I'm calling it right now, Jay. Lisa, I see you. They could have did it last year, but, Lamar Jackson couldn't close the deal. He froze up when it mattered the most, and, he went out the wrong way. And it's sad because the Ravens had a true shot. They did. Mr. B says, Dolphins checking in 14-3. Okay, Mr. B, shout out to you, bro. Tennessee Tactical in the house says Friday night NFL. Yeah, it's crazy. Let me get back into this schedule, and then I'll get back in the chat with y'all. So as far as week 11, going against the Bears, now we've been talking about them, right? We've been talking about Caleb Williams and this team and this offense and, the defensive troubles. And this is the height of football. These two teams going at each other is literally what rivalries and all the hype is all about. So, when you have a situation with Green Bay and the Bears, especially after a Green Bay bye week, you're normally looking at a complete and absolute massacre of the Bears. Now, there's a difference, right? You've got a whole new team this year, a whole new scheme. You've got the Bears coming into this thing a little different because of who's going to be on that other side on the offense. I'll tell you this right now. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I do think, though, it's going to be one of those situations where it does come down to the wire. We're all sitting on the edge of our seats, and it may come down to a field goal. Now, I say that because the Bears have such a great offense, potentially with Caleb, right? Let's just remove Caleb off the topic right now. When we talk about that offense, it's great. Absolutely great. You put any other, quarterback in there, veteran that's decent, he's going to take that team to the playoffs. Now, you talk about the defense, it's rough because you really don't know what to expect. There's been a lot of changes as far as defense. So the real question is, are they going to be able to keep up with Green Bay? And if Caleb Williams is the guy that can translate his talent that he had in college over to the NFL and keep that momentum and get something going, this could be that significant moment for him. This could be that game where he really, truly puts his name on the map, because everyone knows the Green Bay Bears rivalry is exactly what football is. And if you beat Green Bay, then I think you not only get the respect, but you also put the league on notice because Jordan Love was in the playoffs last year. So, I think that's one avenue of it. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm going to say 50-50 here. I'm going to leave it right down the middle because you've got the heart on one side and then you've got the talent on the other. Not to say that both sides ain't talented, but I think there's a little bit more talent and there's a little bit more heart. So there we go. Next after that's going to be San Francisco. Oof. This is crazy. So obviously you get through the Bears, whatever happens there. But then you go on to San Francisco. San Francisco 49ers come into your house in Green Bay. This is going to be in November, so it's most likely going to be a little cold, right? You've got the weather aspect. You've got last year's aspect, a little bit of bad blood. But the 49ers are just different. They're so different. Brock Purdy has been absolutely amazing. That whole team, Brandon Ayuk, obviously they're still trying to figure out negotiations and all that stuff. But even without him, right? Debo, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, that squad right there has shown you that they are willing to put it all on the line to do what they need to do. And, you know, when you look at Brock Purdy, we heard about the game managers and all that kind of stuff. I think that's gone now. I think that's thrown out the window. I think this kid can actually play ball. So the respect is due because of what he was able to do with this team, and not only the position that he's able to put himself in, but the consistency. The consistency is what is very important when it comes to these 49ers. So, yeah, going against the 49ers, I got to take the 49ers there because, you know, there's a different team. Not to say that, you know, Green Bay's not going to play a good game, but I think, you know, in the long run, this is one that, you know, 49ers could win by 1 or 2 touchdowns for sure. Next after that's going to be Miami, right? Going against the Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa and company. He's got talent too. The defense can be solid. This is going to be, you know, one where you're probably going to focus on Tyreek Hill. Tua's going to probably try to find Waddle, you know. They're going to get that running game going. There's going to be a lot going on with Miami. And in this stretch, right, I want to say 3 game, maybe 4, right, after the bye. And I say maybe, it's like we're playing spades here tonight, right? Because you got 3 in the possible, and the possible is the Bears. It's just the reality of it. But when you look at the 49ers, you look at the Dolphins, you look at the Lions, Green Bay's got some work cut out for them. Now, Miami's tricky too as well because obviously we're looking at it from a point of view. Tua stays healthy, Hill's healthy, Waddle's healthy. You know, these guys are all ready to go. I think, you know, a healthy Miami is going to be very difficult for Green Bay to beat because Miami's got that speed. And if they get things going, they can run that score up pretty fast. So I will sway more towards Miami in this one, barring everyone's healthy. Next after that, week 14, they play the Lions again. So the real question is on this one, right? It's going to be Thursday night, December. These are the games that start getting into, you know, playoff implications and things like that. The question for this one, for me at least, is, you know, is Dan Campbell coaching at his best level, right? Is he still making those crazy, irrational decisions? Or is he playing a little bit more methodically when it comes to the decision-making and the tight moments when he needs to? Because don't get me wrong, Matt LaFleur is a hell of a coach too when it matters, you know, in these last moments in the season. And this team can very well be back in the playoffs as well if they, you know, get some momentum going. But I will say this. I think the Lions and Green Bay will split. I'm not sure if it's going to be Green Bay taking the first one, Lions take the second one. Or, you know, Lions take the first one, Green Bay takes the second one, but I do think it's going to be a split. After that's going to be the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are a team that has talent. The quarterback issue for me is what really puts me into a situation of saying I'm not sure what the Seahawks are going to do. Defensively, I know they can battle it out, but I'm going to give the edge to Green Bay there. Saints, Derek Carr, Alvin Kamara. Anyone want to tell me what they expect out of the Saints, right? What the hell is Michael Thomas doing, right? You know, Saints, they're just not a team that I'm really worried about this year, and I don't think they're really going to do too much. I could be wrong. Derek Carr could just come out and change things around. But from what I've seen over the years and Derek Carr's career, he's fine with being paid and being mediocre. So I'm going Green Bay in Week 16. Then they'll face Minnesota again Week 17. Like I said, it could be a split situation. And then obviously the Bears again in Week 18. And yeah, for the most part, I look at the schedule, the Green Bay Packers being the solid team that they are, I think they're going to have a decent season. There is going to be some significant challenges. There is going to be some moments where, you know, if someone's not playing up to par or they're not able to find the will to win, it may be, you know, an easy victory for one of these or some of these other teams. But for the most part, Green Bay looks ready. And I think this season they're going to do numbers for sure, without a doubt.